Hi, welcome to the special edition of AFN Europe Report. I'm Air Force Staff Sergeant John Archiquette. I'm here in Alter de Chao, Portugal for Trident Juncture 2015. This exercise brings 36,000 participants from over 30 nations together for land, air, and sea operations. This exercise takes place across 16 locations throughout Europe, as well as naval operations in the Mediterranean and Atlantic. On this episode, we will take a look at the variety of training events happening throughout the exercise. Trident Juncture is the largest exercise to occur in Europe in decades, testing NATO and allied forces' ability to handle a variety of security threats. Land forces focused on confronting enemy threats, urban and rural operations, as well as close air support and decontamination efforts. They also participated in paratrooper airdrops in conjunction with air forces. Other air operations including in-flight refueling and air superiority missions. Naval forces were also involved in the exercises. The European theater hasn't held this level of training since the Soviets were a threat to the region during the 1980s. In an ever-changing world, NATO must prepare for these types of security threats from non-traditional enemies. Trident Juncture encompasses all assets of land, air, and naval forces to test readiness and interoperability. One naval exercise is to test the capabilities to perform an amphibious assault on a beachhead.
When the enemy is on shore, you send in the Marines. It's a simple idea, but as any Marine can tell you, amphibious assaults are one of the hardest missions to achieve. So it makes sense, as part of Exercise Trident Juncture 2015, NATO sought to strengthen their capabilities in this crucial type of operation. Yet this was achieved not through brute force alone, but also through improving the cohesion between member nations' forces.
Today, nobody goes to the war alone. So you need to develop interoperability, you need to develop some confidence as well, and start to share information, share techniques, tactics and procedures. So this Trident Juncture is actually a great opportunity to know how the allies work and how we can integrate them in the live operations we can have in the future.
And if the time for war does come in the future, NATO's forces will be better prepared to fight as one and make a splash. Reporting for AFN Europe, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Jelly.
Naval forces participated in a variety of other ways during the exercise, such as offloading materials and equipment in Spain from the USNS Buttons to show the capabilities to supply Europe in case of conflict. While the Navy and Marines contributed to sea operations, soldiers played an important role in keeping their Apaches flight ready. Air Force Staff Sergeant Ashley Corkins tells us how coordination was important to effective teamwork.
The aims of Trident Juncture 2015 help make sure NATO and partner nations can work together.
It's a joint effort and a joint decision all the way. Every day we have coordination meetings with the Belgians, the Baltic Battalion, the Spanish battalions, and the German battalions, and we discuss the upcoming missions and make decisions on the best courses of action each day.
From plans and operations inside the tent to being out here on the flight line, it takes a team effort to get these Apaches off the ground.
Expecting it to see if there's any corrosion or gap.
The avionics and armament crew add an important element to keep the AH-64 flight ready.
Checks and balances to make sure that we are fixing and replacing the proper components, and if a wire is damaged, that we're fixing that wire.
Once plans are set and the aircraft is safe and ready to fly, these pilots can then focus on adaptation.
This exercise has given us an opportunity to do is work with ground forces from all kinds of different countries and integrate with their TTPs and develop communication processes and new TTPs for both forces.
These live exercises demonstrate the alliance's ability to train, deploy, and exercise in a complex environment.
We're going to get a lot out of it due to the fact that some of the guys that have been out here haven't done some of the tactics that we're going to be doing in this type of terrain.
Staff Sergeant Ashley Corkins, Zaragoza Air Base, Spain.
America's airmen helped prepare for one of the largest airdrop operations during the exercise. This airdrop wasn't the only one to take place. The Air Force and Army teamed up to put the 82nd Airborne on target.
Hundreds of U.S. paratroopers filled the skies over the San Gregorio training area in Spain. They joined airborne soldiers from 12 other NATO nations for this drop. The actions included minefield clearing and hostage rescue operations, in addition to close air support from fighter jets. It's a capstone event to the even larger exercise Trident Juncture. The airlift is its own sub-exercise. Operation Ultimate Reach tests the Air Force's ability to get boots on the ground as fast as the plane can fly them there.
We're currently leading 7 ship C-17s from Pope Army Airfield in the United States across the Atlantic Ocean to deliver 546 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne to a drop zone in Zaragoza, Spain.
This airdrop exercise is also a demonstration. NATO invited observers from all over the globe to witness the coalition's capabilities. The exercise commander explains how comprehensive this exercise is.
We have air, land, soft, and naval forces integrated, so it is a joint effort. And on top comes that we deploy over a huge distance from our countries.
Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General, also observed the demonstration. According to NATO's website, he said NATO does not seek confrontation, but we stand ready to defend all allies. Staff Sergeant Tristan McIntyre, AFN News.
The exercise also had participation from one of America's National Guard units. Air Force Master Sergeant Jennifer Foster tells us more about how the Michigan National Guard helped with the urban operations.
15 members of the Michigan Army National Guard joined 36,000 other service members to participate in Trident Juncture 2015. Embedded with the Baltic Battalion at San Gregorio Training Area in Spain, these soldiers tested their urban terrain joint capabilities.
It's a little bit like the movies, but a little less fun. Basically what we do usually is set up a overwatch position with our larger weapon systems, like our machine guns, and this provides us with some cover and security while we move into the village. And then when we get in there, then we have a specific sector of that village that we try to clear. And by clearing, we go into each building, each room, and make sure that there aren't any enemy that are hanging out in there. So we're trying to find them and root them out and basically seize the village.
Right here is starting to become clear. We're going to push right through, and this is going to be 3rd Platoon's objective.
It's not all fun and games for the light infantry unit from Detroit. These soldiers understand the importance of this exercise and how it helps them prepare for any future challenges.
Like any infantry soldier, it's always up and down. So they're initially excited to be here, and then they realize they're doing infantry things, and things get a little depressing. They forget that, yeah, we didn't come here on a vacation. We're supposed to be dirty, tired, and dirty. But, you know, things have been on the up and up. I mean, infantry soldiers are same from the United States or they're from Latvia. We're excited. We like to do what we do.
Hey, Bravo, let's go. Bravo! Take this building, go. Let's go. Kennedy, let's go.
For AFN, I'm Air Force Master Sergeant Jennifer Foster, San Gregorio, Spain.
Finally, Air Force Staff Sergeant Ashley Corkins tells us about one sergeant whose mission is to help with the overall fitness of troops downrange.
I love running. Running is one of my favorite things to do. It's just relaxing. It helps me calm down from the long hours that we work here.
Logging in these miles helps Master Sergeant Magus Brown handle the pressures of Trident Juncture 2015.
I'm an MWR personnelist. I do MWR back at Brunson. My career field is a 3MO51 career field, so I'm a services troop by trade.
Here at Zaragoza Air Base, Spain, his focus is helping others stay fit in more ways than one.
We have the fitness center, which is open quite a bit. We keep it open extended hours so that troops can go in, they can get fit, and we're serving 28 different nations. We also have the Bolero, which is a bowling alley that stays open pretty late for folks to come out and actually go bowling and just have some time to decompress and relax after excruciating mission sometimes.
So I have a Zaragoza pamphlet that I created.
Master Sergeant Brown also coordinates ways for folks to get off base and explore.
We plan times for people to be able to go downtown to kind of unwind and relax and see a little bit of Zaragoza, Barcelona imagery. They want people to be focused on the exercise, but they also want us to have some downtime.
Master Sergeant Brown helps confirm that even through exercises like Trident Juncture, we, as airmen, need to focus on how we maintain our overall fitness, mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. Staff Sergeant Ashley Corkins, Zaragoza Air Base, Spain.
That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us for this special look at Trident Juncture 2015. From Alto de Chao, Portugal, I'm Air Force Staff Sergeant John Arquette.